Okay, like I said, today we are looking at Microsoft Office PowerPoint. So we shall start by opening MS PowerPoint. Those that don't know how to find PowerPoint, we go to our start button on your desktop. Okay, then you can look out from, it could be maybe amongst the most used in case you've been using it more often. If not, then we have all these other programs that are arranged alphabetically. Can I ask who? We are Sozaina to mute your microphone. Zaina, can you mute? Okay. Thank you. So I was saying, in case it's not among the most used applications, you can. My screen is hidden. How comes somebody says that my screen is hidden? Is it true for all other members?
No, it is on.
Can somebody be able to see my screen?
Yes, I'm seeing.
Yes, it is on.
I want to see if, let me ask Joy. Okay. Yeah, so that means that because I can't see my screen, the problem is on your side. Me, I always use two gadgets. Meaning if there's a problem, I have a gadget so that in case of any problem, I can see from the mobile phone. I use both the laptop and the mobile phone. Okay, so I was telling that if you can't find it from the mostly used applications, we can go to, we have these other apps which have not been used more often, but are arranged alphabetically, just like you can see on my screen. So if I'm to look out for PowerPoint, I need to scroll through all these other applications, just like you can see on the screen. All these others are also installed on the computer. So since I'm looking for PowerPoint, I think I've been able to bring it out alphabetically. Megisha Bridget, can you mute your microphone? Megisha Bridget, can you mute? I don't want to do it from my side because once I do it from my side, I'll disable all members from unmuting permanently. Okay. Then, right now you can see that I've been able to locate it. It is here on my screen, just like you can see. Alternatively, if I don't take this approach, of course, if you want to do this approach, I just have to click on this. Here, top. Alternatively, you can as well, in case you don't have to scroll through, you can even just in the search option. Okay. So once you type, you'll still be given the option specific application. Yes, anybody who knows what PowerPoint is, what it does, and so on. Anything you know about PowerPoint before I can start off? Yes, Faith is saying that it's used mostly for presentation. Okay, very good. Okay, Akelo, Derila, your microphone is on. I don't know whether you want to contribute. If you're not contributing, can you mute? Yes, okay, Akelo, speak.
Yeah, what I know about PowerPoint is that it's mostly used in presentation, maybe for learning aids, something like that.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sure.
Yeah, in PowerPoint, we create slides.
Okay. So when you talk about PowerPoint, ladies and gentlemen, it is presentation software. Okay. That's what PowerPoint is. So let me first share my screen before we can continue. Then meanwhile, as I'm sharing the screen, you can see some members are also trying to participate and contribute something. And amongst the contributions by members, we have who? We have different members that have said something. Let me try to check the chat and see what they have said. Used for presentation, that is from Faith. Then Melon is slideshow presentation program. Then Osuruk, display information in form of slided, etc. Then we have Nambuya. Yes, Nambuya, your hand is up. Can you speak to us before I can continue? Yes, Nambuya, speak to us. Nambuya, can you speak?
Yeah. Now,
Maybe the hand was
PowerPoint
up
uses
accidentally.
presentations for slides for presentation. Sorry.
Okay. So I think most of us have some clue about what PowerPoint is.
So my network is poor, but PowerPoint uses for presentation.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So we can get started. I think those with computers have already opened PowerPoint. So we can get started. We look at, when you open the PowerPoint, first of all, let's start by exploring the environment in PowerPoint. Okay, let's start by exploring the environment in PowerPoint. First of all, when you open the PowerPoint, you'll be given a screen like the one that I have on my screen. I guess you're able to see it. So on my dashboard, what I would call my dashboard, first of all, I'm able to, in case I was trying to work with something and I was not able to save it for some reasons, maybe the machine shut down accidentally because of either technical or power problems. First of all, I have the option to recover files that I recently worked with. Then, how about if I had some recent documents, sorry, presentations that I was working with? Maybe I saved, but they are the latest I last worked with on the computer, okay? So I'm also able to find them. For example, today's presentations, yesterday's presentations, 2 days ago, I'm able to access them all here, okay, where you are seeing recent. And then after recent, you'll also find that maybe there are those that we are not so recent, are not so recent, but have been not so long ago. For example, Kani Wagit, Isabella and Joseph Oshana. Wagit, Isabella, can you mute? Let me do from my side anyway. Okay. Let me do it from my side.
I don't even understand. Maybe because you understand.
Okay. First of all, you members, I want you to grow up. Okay. If you're in class and you can't control your microphones, I will not tolerate that. So I've muted all, and you don't have permission to unmute yourselves. So in the case of anything, just raise up your hands or use the chat. Otherwise, I've muted all of you. So I was saying that first of all, if you want to open files which were last opened, let's say like a week ago, you can still access them here. Just like you can see last week's presentations. These are the presentations I opened last week. Then on top of that, I also have the option of opening presentations which were not opened last week necessarily, okay? But maybe are on the computer. Maybe I have them either on the disk somewhere, maybe a flash disk, or even on the machine, maybe on one of the drives. So I still have the access. I have the option of opening those presentations by clicking on Open Other Presentations at the bottom here. Then besides that, we have our main screen here. On the main screen, among other things, we can open a blank presentation. You can open a blank presentation. But before opening a blank presentation, we can as well look out for templates and themes, okay? Some of which, for example, when I click on I can choose from. Just like you, I think it's taking long, and I think it might need to first connect to the internet, which might take us some time. So for purposes of time saving, I think we may not have to look at that option, but you can give it a try, okay? You can give it a try in your free time by trying to see the options you'll be given when you try to look at the different tools here, the different links here. For our case, we are going straight to blank presentation. Therefore, I've clicked on blank presentation, just like you can see on the screen. So when you click on blank presentation, you'll be given a screen similar to what you are seeing right now. So what I'm going to do after getting there, first of all, I'm able to see, just like I said before, sometimes you find that maybe the machine shuts down accidentally for some reasons, okay? So in case of any presentation which you didn't save, you have the option of recovering them here. So meaning I just have to click on one of the options I have down here on any of the presentations in case I need to recover them, then it will come and pop in the main window so that I'm able to save in case I need. For my case, I don't think I need any of these options that I'm given. Therefore, I'll just click on this close option at the bottom. Now, when talk about PowerPoint, it is a presentation software, just like I said before. Okay, what is presentation software? Presentation software is the software that we use to address the audience electronically through use of what we call audio visual tools. When I talk about audio visual tools, what am I trying to mean? I'm trying to mean tools that allow for the audience to be able to listen. For example, using audio, meaning I can embed audio elements, for example, such as sound, such as recordings, the one I'm doing right now in my presentation. Then visual, you can as well use infographic components, such as pictures, such as videos, and so on. In my presentation, I'm able to address my audience the way I always teach in class, or the way other people teach in class, or in any other gatherings, and your audience is able to view what you are presenting graphically, using the graphical representation, using pictures, using videos, using the audio, and so on. That's what we mean by audiovisual elements. Just like we looked at MS Word and Excel, right now, a file that we create in a PowerPoint, first of all, is called a presentation, okay? Remember, with Word, we are working with documents. With Excel, we are working with workbooks. That's why when you talk about the title bar right now, it's reading presentation 1. So the default file name given is a presentation. That's why the first one is called presentation 1. The next one I will create will become presentation 2, and so on and so forth. So in the title bar, I have presentation 1, PowerPoint. Remember, I said that the presentation bar, the title bar shows us the name of the file we are working with, okay? And then the program in which that file is running, or the program that is running that file. Then we have, I think you remember the quick access toolbar, which you looked at in all other applications. Now we are talking about these other, we are talking about the ribbon down here, okay? So on this ribbon, among other things, I have these different tabs, just like you can see, such as file, I have home, I have insert, and I'm very sure you are all well versed with this home tab. We're all well versed with the insert tab. You're all well versed with the review tab. You're all well versed with the view tab. But I'm very sure, if I may ask members, okay, we are going to use the chat. Do you have design tab in MS Word and Excel? Can you just use the chat and type? Since I've turned off all your microphones. Let me see what members have typed. No one has typed yet. I'm waiting for the feedback. Do you have design tab in MS Excel? Okay. Somebody has said at least Biekwas and Zubeda have all typed, not really. Okay. How about, okay. So how about the transitions? We have transitions in, okay. Yes, we have design in MS Word. We have design tab in MS Word, but I don't think we have design in Excel. Let me open it and we prove and we verify. In Word we have it, but in Excel, we don't have it. It's already opening. Let's wait and see if we have design tab in Excel, so that we have a clear understanding of what we are talking about. So once I open Excel, for sure, I don't see design. I don't see design tab, just like you can see on my screen, but we have it in MS Word. Okay. Then, do we have transitions in PowerPoint? Let's use the chat again. Do we have transitions? Can you use the chat and give me your opinion, your feedback? Do you have transitions? Do you have transitions in Excel? Some people have typed yes, that we have transitions tab in Excel. Okay, that is according to them. Whereas, okay, yes, some people have said yes, we don't have transitions in Excel. Okay, then do we have animations in Excel? Actually, we don't have transitions in Excel, neither do we have it in Word. Okay, how about animations? We have animations in Excel and Word. still people have said no. How about slideshow? Do we have those two tabs? Do we have all those tabs, slideshow? So with that, we are able to see and know that this application is totally different from all others that we've been working with. Why? Since we have been able to see that some of these tabs don't exist in some of those other applications, that alone is enough to tell us that yes, this application is doing something completely different from what those other applications are meant to do. Okay, having seen that, now let's move on. So we shall be working with all these different tabs. Of course, while we are working with PowerPoint specifically, we shall work with the insert, actually we shall work with all, but some of the unique features for PowerPoint among others, for example, transitions, animations, we have slideshow. So those ones are completely different from what Word does. We look at PowerPoint again. First of all, when you open a PowerPoint, it comes with a blank slide, okay? When you talk about a slide, I'm referring, for example, when you're working with MS Word, we deal with pages. We deal with pages in MS Word, and we deal with worksheets in Excel, okay? While in a PowerPoint, in the presentation software, we work with slides. So in other words, we put all our information on slides. So that is the difference between PowerPoint and all these other applications. Now, the question is, first of all, when you look at MS Word and the PowerPoint, which one of the workspaces is bigger than the other? Can members type in the chat? If you have to compare the workspace in MS Word with that of PowerPoint, which one gives you more typing area, type more information than the other? Members. So I'm waiting for the feedback in the chat so that I'm able to see. Yes, Donna said Word. Joy has also said Word. Osuruk, Word. Joseph, the one in PowerPoint is small. Okay, Nambuya, Word. I think all people are agreeing with me that Word gives you more workspace. Okay, very good. Now, having realized that, what is PowerPoint in a nutshell? PowerPoint, first of all, in most cases, for example, at your workplaces, maybe since I'm teaching mostly teachers, if at your workplace, you are supposed to come up, you're supposed to do maybe some activity, okay? After doing that activity, you're supposed to write a report. In most cases, when you're writing reports, we don't write reports using a PowerPoint. For example, you're going to write a report of about 100 pages, or even thousands of pages, any number of pages, okay? Then after writing that report, maybe you're supposed to present that report to your bosses, maybe your peers, maybe your colleagues, so that they're able to know your findings or what you've been doing, your investigation. It could be an investigation, and you're trying to bring them up to speed with what is taking place. Even since I have people from agriculture still, you find that maybe you went to the field, maybe you were assigned to manage activities in operation wealth creation, okay? Maybe you have piglets, you have chicken, you have cows, you have goats in different projects. Then you're supposed to give the status of those different projects. So in giving the status, you find that you're supposed to report. And you may find that you're going to have maybe so many pages. So you can't present all those pages to the audience. Why? Because in most cases, there is no such time to read to the audience word by word, page by page. So what you're supposed to do, you are supposed to summarize, okay, the document in such a way that you are able to, for example, if you are given 10 minutes to summarize the contents of the report into 10 minutes. How can you do that? Is So in that PowerPoint, we are supposed to look at the power in the point. Okay. In other words, I just give a bullet, but that bullet speaks volumes. So if I'm for example, I'm asked to read a chapter of about 20 pages, how can I present this chapter in one slide, for example? So PowerPoint, in other words, is meant for summary. You are presenting to an audience which has no time, but at the same time, you want that audience to move with you. You want to capture the audience, the attention of the audience. So PowerPoint, one of the powerful tools of PowerPoint is that it allows you to capture the attention of the audience. Then when just like you can see my screen members, okay? If I was just speaking about these things, many of you would be sleeping, dozing, and many of you would be completely off. But since I'm able to share my screen with you, I'm able to capture your attention, because as I'm speaking something, you're able to see what exactly I'm talking about. That's why it is always important to use these audio visual elements or components so that the audience is able to give you attention, because whichever you are speaking about, they're able to see. Then when they could be thinking that maybe I'm speaking maybe rocket science, which they don't understand at all. That's why, members, since it's meant for summary, we have a smaller workspace. So it comes with one, by default, comes with one presentation slide. And on this one presentation slide, we have the options. First of all, click to add title, and then click to add subtitle. So in other words, just like if you have a book, okay, the cover page. So this one is like a cover page, the first slide, whereby it is expected that the cover page gives you just what is contained inside, the title, the theme we are going to talk about. So for my case, I'm going to, let me give it a title. For example, Introduction to PowerPoint is what I'm going to give to my title. Introduction to MS PowerPoint. Okay, that is my title. And if you've been very keen and if you are still sober, I'm going to type my subtitle. Okay, overview. If you are sober, you must have observed that the title has a bigger font than the subtitle. Okay, so that tells us this is the heading. Okay, this is the heading. Of course, you can always move you can reposition your content the way you want. So having worked on the first slide, I'm going to the next slide. How do you insert a slide in PowerPoint? To insert a slide, right now they're telling that I'm on slide number 1 of how many? Of 1, because I have only one slide. Okay, so I want to insert a new slide. To insert a new slide, members, there are so many ways of killing a rat. Either I can go to my home tab the way I have done right now and click on new slide. Okay, now you can see I am on slide number 2 of the 2. Okay, because I'm on this one here right now, number 2. Okay, this was number 1 of the 2 slides. Now this is number 2. That's one way of creating new slides. Another way of creating new slides, members, is by right-clicking on the slide panel on this left-hand side. Okay, on this left-hand side of my screen where we are seeing the slide panel. Okay, so right-click on it and then click on the menu will come and then select new slide. Okay, that's one other way. Remember, there are so ways of killing a rat. Some people use poison, others burn the house, Others, they can use the trap. Others, they buy those books, those gum books, those gums, glue books, and then take the rats to school and so on. So for us, we've been able to explore at least 2 of the ways we can insert the new slide. Okay. Now, having created our slides, of course, you can always insert as many as you want whenever you feel like you need to insert new slides. And then also, you can always rearrange your slides. For example, I want number 1 here to come, let's say, here. Okay. I can always rearrange by just dragging the slide and then dropping it in the position I want them to be. So as simple as that. So by now, I guess that we can always insert slides. We can do what? We can rearrange the slides the way we want. Having seen that, members, let's look at layout. When we look at the layout for the slide number, actually, let me take it back to the original position. Okay. Yes, so many ways, but what? Some does, let me see the message. But the one that kills the rat immediately, shortcut is, I didn't get them. That kills a rat immediate shortcut. I prefer, I didn't understand the message anyway. Okay, we move on. So let's look at the layout. By default, the layout for the first slide is title. Okay. Actually, if I'm to check under my home tab, okay, on slides group, okay, on slides group, we have layout where my cursor is. Okay. Okay. So that's where my cursor is. So let's click in the arrow. Right now you can see that the selected option for my layout is title slide. Okay. But I have other options. For example, if I'm to check the second slide, what is layout? It is showing title and content. So it depends on what you're going to insert on your slide to determine which layout you should assign. So by default, that's how PowerPoint was made. The first one is title. Then the second one, all the others are title and content. Not until I select otherwise, the first one will be title and all others will become title and content. Meaning, for example, the second one, I'll, for example, put my title as, which title should I give it? Maybe, which title should I give it? Using PowerPoint for the first time. So that is my title. Then under my title, then I'm supposed to put the content. So what you are going to talk about PowerPoint. And if you've been very keen and sober, you must have realized that I have a bullet here. Okay? If you're sober upstairs, you must have seen that I have a bullet here where my cursor is. Meaning it's I'm supposed to summarize just writing bullets. So PowerPoint is not meant for rumamongering. Okay? So you're getting me? It's not meant for, if you are good at rumamongering, those people who did history at both O and A level, try to tell me your history and ensure that you try as much as possible to limit text, the amount. Remember, I said it is power in the point. It should be a simple one point, but having a lot of power. That is PowerPoint. So I'll just put bullets, just simple sentences, not writing paragraphs. PowerPoint is not meant for paragraphs. If you want paragraphs, then you're supposed to use MS Word. Then before I start typing again, you must also have realized that I have these hovering objects here, okay, on my screen. I guess you're able to see them, all these hovering objects. Meaning if I want to do what? To insert, let's say, a table, I'll just click on the option which says insert table, okay? If I want to insert a bar chart or any other chart, I'll just come and click on chart. If I want to insert a smart art, I'll just click on this. If I want to insert a picture, I have this option. So meaning, if I want to insert a picture, I may not have to go this far of going to the insert tab and then clicking on what? On the pictures. No. Okay? So I can just, right now, I can just click on this and then I'm able to insert the picture. If I want to insert pictures from the internet, still maybe from Google, I can still use this option. If I want to insert videos, I have the last option for inserting videos. Remember, I said audio-visual components, okay? So I can insert all forms of audio-visual elements in my presentation. Now, having looked at that, now is the time to start typing. Ask yourself, what am I going to type? For example, let me see if I can get something here. Yes, I guess I can get something. But this is an exam, I think. Let me not show it on the screen. You might link it to the owners. Let me look out for something different. Let me open something different that I can use to demonstrate what I want to demonstrate. Oh, all these ones are exams. Okay, let me look out for one which is not an exam. See my screen? So we can now move on. So I'm going, assuming like I have this document which is having about 115 pages, just like you can see, okay? So if I want to present this document, maybe I have a meeting, I don't have to go through it word by word, line by line, paragraph by paragraph. I just need to pick out the main points, okay? For example, we look at this line here, okay? It's reading the Bachelor of IS, whichever it is reading, is housed in the Faculty of Data Science and Information Technology. Maybe this could be part of the key points, okay? I just need to get this out and then take it in PowerPoint, just like you can see, okay? I could even just say, I could even try to eliminate some of the text, since we all know that BISS means Bachelor of Information and Secretarial Studies, okay? I can even remove the word program so that I try as much as possible to reduce on the text. So I have that point there. Meaning if I want to look out for something else, maybe if there's something that is sensible here, I will just look it out and take it the other side. I could even just type if I don't have to copy. So in case I don't find anything relevant here again, maybe I want to talk about how long it's going to take. Then I have to come and look it out here. I think 3-year program, okay? It is a 3-year program. I think it's something important that we need our audience to know about. So I'll just come and take it this side as well. So like that. In other words, just keep pointing out key points and then taking them to the other application that is PowerPoint specific, to be specific, so that you don't have to take each and everything. So I'm going to task you as well to try and type something in the PowerPoint so that we're able to have something as well that we're going to work with. I want each one of us to create about 10 slides and try to put something in those 10 slides in just 1 minute or 2 minutes. Then we continue. So assuming that you've now been able to type something in your presentations, I'm going to my third slide here and I'm going to try and demonstrate why you are supposed to be as brief as possible. Okay. First of all, you want to capture the attention of the audience, and secondly, you want the audience to focus. Meaning, if you put too much, the audience will not be able to focus. So this PowerPoint is meant for, by the way, when you are presenting to an audience about anything, try to show that you are a master of whichever you are trying to present. Show that you are an expert, okay, in whichever you are trying to present. Show that you command authority. What do I mean exactly? I don't expect, I always see those politicians, those thugs in politics, okay? Somebody comes and he claims that they are presenting a report, okay? But those people, when they are presenting the report, they don't even know anything in that report. They don't know anything. Somebody just wrote for them. They don't show that they have authority, that they are the authors of those reports. Just imagine, for example, I came to class. While I'm in class, I'm just reading everything on the screen word by word. You people, if you could reflect back on the physical lectures I had with you last semester, I don't think you saw me so much reading this. Actually, sometimes I don't even use those screens, okay? I just come to class. Most of the things I'm just speaking without reading from anywhere. So PowerPoint is meant to show you to guide you in the presentation so that after looking at the screen, I know what to talk about, okay? But not using it as a basis for what you are going to speak. Some people come in, they have no clue whatsoever, okay, what they're going to talk about. They're just reading word by word. Just imagine a lecturer comes, okay, to class, and they're just reading the notes instead of presenting the notes. Just reading the notes, reading word by word. Of course, your mind will tell that this person is not knowledgeable at all in what they are delivering. They are not informed, they are not knowledgeable at all, they are not prepared for what they are trying to present. You are getting me? So in other words, just look at the point. For example, this one here, okay? It's housed in the faculty of best. Actually, I could even say it's housed in the faculty of IT. To be precise, okay? To be precise, faculty of IT. Like, why is it not writing in capital letters? I don't know. Okay, it has written. So that could be enough, okay? That could be enough for that point. Meaning I can put as many points as I want, okay? I could even just say it is a 3-year course. It is enough, okay? It's a 3-year course, period. So you can see that I have tried as much as possible to compress, meaning I have more space to put more content for my report. Then I'm going to, like I said, I want to paste something here. So let me go to this page where I copied that information. It's here. Let me copy all the contents of the page and try. Let me try and paste it in the PowerPoint. You are going to see something. So I'm inserting on page number 3 and I'm pasting everything on that. You can see, okay? You can hardly read, okay? It has become too small and you want your audience to be able to see. So the more content you put on the slide, the smaller it becomes in terms of visibility. Therefore, it is advisable to always try as much as possible not to be a rumor monger, okay? Not to be an historian, not to be a historian. So having created all our pages, all our slides. I'm going to copy. Let me try to copy the contents, okay? And keep pasting, and then until I have about 10 slides. Please mark my words. I'm talking about slides, not pages. Because in PowerPoint, you don't deal with pages, you deal with the slides. We deal with the slides. So I'm going to pause, work on my 10 slides, then get back to you and we continue. Now that I've been able to make my slides, we can now move on. So the remaining task is now to try and work out with these slides. For example, assuming on slide number, which number? Let me insert another slide between number 7 and 8. New slide. Remember, there are so many ways of clicking, right? You can even go to the insert tab and do the same and click on new slide. Whichever option you want is good enough. So assuming I want to insert, let's say, a video on this slide. Maybe I want to show them, maybe you went for a tour, just like these MPs do when they are asked to go and do oversight roles of parliament. Okay, maybe we tried to capture some of the events as they happen on ground. So I can as well, I remember I said you can either come to on your screen here in the main workspace. We have these different tools we can use to insert anything you want to insert. Alternatively, you can also go to your insert tab, okay? And then look out for example, video, audio, or anything, screen record. I can even record my screen. I can insert all other objects, just like you can see on the ribbon. So let me insert a video, for example. Is it from online or the video is on my computer? Okay. So for my case, let me look out for a video on my computer and insert it. So where should I pick the video from? Let me see, I think I have some videos on my computer. Let me look out for a video that I can use. Let me use, I think under Zoom, I could be having some recordings. Yes, I have some recordings. Let me insert something. For example, I want to insert this recording. As it's coming, it won't take, yes, it has already come. So what is the size you want this video to occupy? Is it the entire screen? For example, for my case, I could just insert a what? I could just insert a title, maybe this video shows what? You explain what the video is going to show. Maybe one of the online like somebody is talking in the background, like sessions with students. That's my title for the video I've inserted. Meaning as I'm presenting, once I come to this video, it will show, it will play. Okay, without having to first go and look it out from other sources. I can just use the same application to play the video. So how big should it be? I can drag and position it in such a way that I feel okay with my recording. How much space should it occupy? By just dragging, like the way you are seeing me doing. So let me ensure that my video is going to occupy the biggest part of my screen by dragging it and repositioning it the way I want. So meaning I could even make my text appear smaller to create more space for my video. So in other words, it's up to you to work out the objects the way you want. So the same thing applies for audio. You can as well just insert an audio clip in your recording. Meaning, when I'm playing once I get this slide, it will just there and then. Of course, you have the option of clicking on play here, but it can as well just right away start playing. Okay, just like you can see, it's now playing. That's how it will be. Okay, while I am presenting. There you are seeing that the video is now showing. So you'll just watch the video playing with, I think, let me put a video which will give us a better understanding of what I'm trying to explain. Let me put maybe one for music. Let me insert one for music so that the members can better understand what I'm trying to talk about. Because the music will start playing automatically with even the sound on. Whereas right now what I'm doing, people just, I think, may not be able to understand what I'm trying to talk about. Let me look out for one with music, which starts playing with every other tools enabled. So I'm looking out for one with music. For example, let me insert this one here and see how it will happen. Remember, I talked about resizing. You can always resize the way you want. So let me try to increase the volume as well. Once I say play, you can see. Okay, so that's what the audience will be able to see. So I guess members are able to see the way I have explained it. So it is as simple as that. So as simple as what I've just demonstrated on the screen. So as the video is playing, the audience will be able to see what is happening. Now, having seen that, we can move on. Of course, you can, try to reshape the video by looking at the format, okay? How you want the shape in which it's going to be playing, okay? Just like I could maybe want to have it appear in an oval shape, to appear in any other shape I want it to be. All of these tools are available in PowerPoint. You can, in other words, organize it the way you feel contented. I could want to make it, for example, appear the way you are seeing right now on my screen, the way you are seeing it right now. The way you want, you always feel free to organize. But of course, when it comes to fonts, please use fonts which are presented to the audience. You should be very specific with the fonts you're going to use in your presentation. Usually, I would always advocate for professional fonts. There are those fonts that you can use, for example, if you're addressing young kids, and there are those fonts that you can use, for example, in the arts, and there are those fonts for other professional formal presentations. Please, first of all, ensure that the font is big enough, and also that the font is that the audience is able to see text clearly without having to scrutinize so much to understand the letters. Now, having prepared our presentation, the next thing is to change the design. Right now, you can see how it looks like. Okay, it is plain. It doesn't have any design. So to change the layout of the appearance of our slides, we shall have to go to the design tab. And then on the design tab, we are given different design options we can apply to our presentation. Once we click on any of the designs, of course, it will get applied to the presentation. If I try to move to all other presentation, to all other designs, you can see right now this is how it's appearing, and it applies to all the slides. So let me try pointing to one at a time, and we see how our presentation is going to look like. But should always be very careful so that the audience, so that it will not have an irritating impact on the audience. There are those colors and designs which are quite irritating. So always try to ensure that the audience will not have problems with the visual effects of that layout, of that design you select. So we have so many designs from which you can choose. And sometimes you can even import designs. Okay, you can always import designs from other sources, including downloading from the internet. There are those that are free of charge from the internet, and there are those that you can buy. If I save the theme, for example, I can under design, under themes, sorry, we can click in this arrow here. We have the option of browsing for specific themes, or I can even just choose to save this theme. So that maybe in the future, some organizations have got corporate color, so that we keep using the same design in all our other presentations, so that we can identify ourselves by a particular theme, but minus having to use a totally different theme in each and every presentation that we make. Then, having looked at how to change themes, how to add themes, we can look out for transitions. Well, if I may ask, what is a transition, members? What is a transition? Who can tell us? I think the microphone is on, members can speak. So this is how my presentation is looking in terms of the design. That's how it's looking right now. What is a transition, members? Can somebody tell me what a transition is? What's a transition, members? Let me check the chat. I can see so many messages. Somebody is asking how to change the design of only one slide. For design, it applies to all slides. I think I've answered you. Can members give me feedback on the question I've asked? What is a transition in English, not in PowerPoint, in English? The meaning of transition in English.
I can try.
Yes, try. This is who?
Obunyelea.
Yes.
Maybe changing from one state to another.
Okay, transition means change in simple terms. Okay. Yes, Joseph. Echao.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
A transition means turning from one point to another in English.
Okay. Okay. For example, in Uganda, they talk about transition from 70 to whosoever will come. They talk about peaceful and whether it will be peaceful or not. That's not our concern. Okay. For us, our concern is being Ugandans. So transition means change. How change comes. Okay, so in this case, we all watch TV, for example, but there's a way. Previously, when I was still young, I would imagine that maybe when the screen is changing, that maybe there's somebody who comes and pulls this screen and then fixes another screen. Okay, so maybe adverts are coming, but there's a way components or objects come on the screen and go. Okay. So that's what we're talking about. The way the screen changes from one object to the other, or from one tool to the other, from one show to the other, and so on. So that is the transition we're talking about. So in this case, how should my slides come on the screen and how should they go? Okay. For example, right now, but for transitions, you can assign different transitions to different slides. You don't have to apply to all, except if you want. Okay. So for my case, for example, I'm now on transitions tab on my screen, and I have now the selected transition is none. I don't have any transition, but we have so many. For example, we have morph. Okay, you can see how the slides will be coming on the screen. Okay, we have fade, just like you can see. Whenever I click on it, it shows how it will be coming. Push. We have wipe. We have split, reveal. That's how the way you always see TV, pictures coming on the screen and pictures going. That's exactly what you're talking about. We have cut, random bars. You can see how it will be, shape. We have uncover. We have cover. We have flash, and so many others. We have peel off. It will just peel, the way you peel off something from the screen, from the maybe on paper. We have so many others, okay? Just like you can see, if I want something to be like a flying bird, so that when the slide is coming, it comes like a flying bird, I can apply it. For example, let me apply, first of all, on my first slide, I'm going to apply curtains, okay? Where is it? Curtains, it's here. Okay, the way you open a curtain. Okay, let me insert another slide on top. So the first one should be, I think, curtain. I've applied the curtain. Then maybe this one, I want to apply something else under transitions. Let me apply. In other words, you can apply different transitions on different slides. This is fracture, okay, etc. So you can just choose any you want. Of course, after applying one, and in case you want everything, all other slides to be the one you've just worked out, you can just click on, you can just come and click on apply to all. In case you want all slides to be having the same settings you've worked out on the slide you've just worked out. Then among other things also, you can also time. Sometimes find that you go, for example, for functions, maybe weddings, maybe even funeral services, funeral functions, different gatherings, political gatherings. If somebody is given 5 minutes, for example, okay, to speak, but this person maybe uses, first of all, uses 2 minutes to greet. Then before he continues, he invites 2 more people. Let me first call so and so to say something. Now you wonder, is so and so down that they have given right to speak? Okay, you're wasting people's time. Then the person they have invited invites 2 more people, and each one of them is also inviting somebody else. At the end of it, on sort of 5 minutes, I've used more than 40 minutes, wasting all that time. So in case you feel you can't control the speaking, you can as well time, okay? When should what? Slides change, meaning they can just change automatically from, for example, I'm on slide number 1. Since slide number 1 is heading, that means I don't have much I'm going to speak on that slide, just seeing the heading. So I can, for example, say that this one I should give it, let's say, 20 seconds, just the heading alone. Meaning after the 20 seconds elapse, then I expect slide number 2 to come automatically. Okay? Then I look at the contents. How much time do I need for this slide to show? Maybe 1 minute. Then I give it, I set it to 1 minute. So like that. So at the end of it, you're able to manage your time by changing the settings here under what? Timing. So with timing, you're assigning what? Duration for each slide. Of course, if you want the same duration for all, you can just click on apply to all again. Then you also have option for sound. If you want, when it is coming, when each slide is coming, to play a certain sound, okay? You can still apply different sounds to different slides. Of course, it should be decent sound. okay? Not just applying anything which will irritate your audience. But I think I would advise for this, it is always better not to apply such sound in, because sometimes it's going to create a lot of noise for your audience. So in most cases, personally, I wouldn't advise or encourage what? I wouldn't encourage applying sound, but we've looked at timers. For example, I'm going to set it to 5 seconds, so that after 5 seconds, a new slide comes. Okay, is it this one? I think this is 5 seconds. You can apply either on a mouse click or after a specific period. So I've applied after a specific period, and let me say apply to all, so that after 5 seconds. Of course, if you want to customize, you can assign different durations to different slides based on the contents, based on how much time you think you need to explain that slide. So at the end of it all, you're able to manage your time. After looking at transitions, by the way, right now what you are seeing is what I would call if you are in a if you are looking at food, okay, maybe a restaurant, we are behind the scenes, okay. Somebody is saying that their computer has no transition. Sure. Zaina, can you unmute and speak to me? Then Ebunyu is saying, Ebunyu, what's the problem?
Sir.
Yes, Zaina, first.
After home, there is insert, design, next is animation. I can't see transition anywhere.
Which version of Office are you using?
Windows.
Which version of Office, not Windows? I'm talking about Windows.
It is 207.
Oh.
Yeah.
207. Nga mukadde oyo. Woli mukadde okutuuka awo.
So what should I do? Can I find it?
20. You have what? What do you have? You have transitions. You have what? What do you have?
After there is home, insert, design, animation, and then slideshow.
Slideshow. What slideshow maybe? You know, I've taken years without using 2007. Last used it about 10 years ago.
When you click on slideshow,
what slideshow and do you see?
There is from beginning, from current slide, from current slide.
What transitions? What transitions? You said you have what? You said you have what?
There is slideshow. There is no transition.
What else do you have? Do you have animation?
Yeah, there is animation.
You check under animation. I don't, you know, I've taken about 10 years without using 2007. Some of these options, I don't remember where they are, but it is somewhere. It is somewhere, you know.
Yeah, I think I find it in animation.
Animation, yeah.
Yeah.
So there it is. But I would advise and encourage that please let's always move with the new changes. Once there's something new, it is always having better things than the previous. It is more easier actually. Easier and more features to use. That is my advice in terms of change. So we can continue. I showed you how to set timers. Now, right, just like in a restaurant setting, we have where we sit, the dining area, okay? But behind the scenes there, for example, Zaina, since I'm from speaking to Zaina, Zaina likes chicken so much, I'm not very sure if it is true, okay? Zaina, is it true that you like chicken so much?
Yeah, it's true.
But have you ever slaughtered one?
No.
Chicken.
Okay, you've never slaughtered one. So you find now we have the behind the scenes area where so many things happen, including blood. Some people don't even want to look at blood, okay? But they enjoy the chicken. So for us, we are in the kitchen right now, prepared. Our when we were preparing these slides, the presentation, we're in the kitchen, where we're going to slaughter the chicken from, okay? Where we're going to prepare the fish from, we removing the intestines of the fish and so many other things that are not edible. So it becomes messed sometimes, okay? But after preparing our everything, we now need to go to the presentation mode. For us to go to the presentation mode, this is what we call the slideshow mode, okay? Remember, there are so many ways of killing a rat, okay? Among others, you can choose to burn the house, you can bring poison, you can use the stick, and so many other ways, okay? So may I always prefer burning the house so that the rats cannot come back anymore. So for example, when you press F5 on your keyboard, can members try to press F5 on the keyboard and tell me what happens? Zain, have you pressed F5 on your keyboard?
Yeah.
What happens?
It's sliding.
It is what?
It's sliding.
What do you mean sliding?
The slides are moving.
They are moving.
Yeah.
Okay. It takes you to slideshow mode directly. Are they changing from one to the other?
Yeah.
First of all, we put timers, okay? That's why they are moving. Those that didn't put timers, you have the first slide. So once you press F5, you are taken to the first slide automatically. Even if I was showing right now my cursor on number 5, okay? But once I press F5 on my keyboard, I'll automatically be taken to slideshow mode and on number 1, slide number 1, okay? So that's what happens. Then how about if I don't want to go to specifically slide number 1. Maybe I want to start from the current slide, which is number 5, okay? There are other options we can use. For example, is it Shift F5? Can you try to press Shift F5 and tell me what happens? Okay, I want members to go to for example, slide number 5, okay? Click on, okay. If you're already in slideshow mode, if you want to go back out of, if you want to get out of slideshow mode, you press escape on your keyboard. You'll exit slideshow mode, regardless of where you are in your presentation. If you're already in slideshow mode, press escape on your keyboard, hit slideshow mode, then go to slide number 5 and click on it. Out, press Shift F5. Not 5, Shift F5. We have those function keys on top, which have F1, F2, F3, F4 up to F12. What happens when you press Shift F5? Zain, have you done it? Since I'm sure you are working on the computer.
Yeah, it did the same like before, like the one of F5 without shift.
It went to number 1. Which side did it go?
It's showing all the slides.
But it started from which slide?
Let me repeat.
It starts from when you press Shift F5. For example, my cursor on slide number 5. Okay. Okay. Let me put my cursor on slide number 3. It's some number 3. Okay. So if I press Shift F5, it will go to slideshow mode, starting with the current slide where my cursor is. That's the point I'm trying to emphasize. Okay. So if I don't want to start from, if I press just F5, it will start from number 1. Okay, regardless of where my cursor was, it will just go to number 1 and start from there. Okay, if I want to go to a specific slide, for example, I was on number 3, I don't want to go back to number 1. For example, I was presenting, as I was presenting, I escaped. Okay, I pressed escape to exit. And maybe on exiting, I'm on number 3. So I don't want to go back to number 1 again. I want to continue from number 3. I'll press Shift F5. Okay, once I press Shift F5, I'll be taken right away to slide number, to the current slide, in other words. Okay. Alternatively, ladies and gentlemen, we have on my status bar, if you're able to see my status bar down here. Are you seeing where my cursor is right now? Well, we have the option for slideshow. Okay. We have option for slideshow where my cursor is down at the bottom, near where the clock is, where the date and time is. Okay. So we can remember on a computer, I always say that there are so many ways of killing a rat. Okay. So we can do it using so many different approaches. So I can as well, if I don't want to use the keyboard, I can as well use that option. Or on slideshow, under slideshow, we have all those different options. For example, where we pressed F5, I can just come to slideshow and then click on from beginning. Okay. Instead of clicking Shift F5, I can just say from current slide. Okay. And so on, just like you can see on the screen. We have different options under slideshow. Okay. So for transitions, like I told you, you can insert different transitions for each slide. You can set timers or you can disable timers. Okay. Then you can as well, we have what's called animations. Okay. So we have that tab called animations. When I talk about animations, ladies and gentlemen, what is animation in your normal understanding, normal English? Okay, what are animations in normal English? Who can tell me? Yes, Ebunyu, area your microphone is on. Can you speak and tell us?
To me, I think these are just special sound effects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Effects. Yes,
yeah.
Just like those movies, okay? You can put effects. So I already see those cartoons, for example, behaving the way they behave. So, for example, let me go to my slide number 1 here. I have this heading here called Introduction to MS PowerPoint. I can animate it, okay? Let me put a picture of the university logo. Let me insert the university logo. Then I try to animate it and you'll see something. Let me go to pictures on the desktop. I guess I must be having one. Let me see if I have one. Yes, I have here. I have one here with me. So I have this picture. Remember, I said you can insert pictures, can insert so many other things the way we want. Let me insert it the way it is right now. It's looking more decent. So we can move on. So I have inserted this picture. Now I want to animate it. Okay. To animate this picture, first of all, it must be selected. Then you go to animations and then try to choose whichever animation you want. So in other words, it will dictate how this image will behave when it's coming. For example, when I come to this side, maybe I want this image to come from down, which we are calling fly in. Okay, so we have different options. The way you are seeing each option I click is showing you how this image will come on the screen. Okay, shape, it's trying to show you different options how this image will come on your screen. You can even text, you can animate anything, including images, objects, text, etc. So now I'm going to slideshow once again. Okay, let me use F5, I think. Unfortunately, my computer is not in English. So let me get another way of going to slideshow. Okay. Okay, from beginning. So that's slide number 1. It has come. Remember, I set it to, I think, about 5 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. I would expect that after 5 seconds, I think I must have set 5 minutes, 25 seconds. Then that's the second slide. Okay. That's how the image has come when I pressed space on my keyboard. So in other words, if you are to do it manually, to move from one slide to the other, you can, if you didn't set the timers, or in case maybe you don't want to wait for the timer for the slides to move, you can use the space bar on your keyboard. Once you click on space bar, the next slide will come. The more you click, the more slides will keep changing. Okay. So if I want to go back, I have those arrow keys on the keyboard. I will just keep pressing the arrow keys to be taken back. Actually, these arrow keys can as well take you to either to the previous or to the next slide based on which arrow key you are clicking on, you are pressing on the keyboard. Okay. So as I think I've talked about animations as well. I've talked about transitions, I've talked about slideshow and so on. So in other words, there is nothing, I've never taught PowerPoint for more than one lecture. So with that, I think you just need to practice, get some time, try to gamble here and there. You'll be able to investigate and identify so many interesting things in PowerPoint. So I think with that, we are going to end here for today's session. I guess you've been able to grasp quite a lot of interesting things.